What's up, everyone? Welcome back to No Cap Space for yet another bracket breakdown. Tyler and Shawnee with our very special guest, the host of the Casuals podcast, Katie Nolan, is in the building. Get the horns out. Get the horns out. Katie, thank you so much for joining us here today.
I'm telling you, don't thank me till it's over, because this is truly my bracket. Because the tournament isn't starting in 5 minutes, my bracket's not done. I wait till the last minute. So we're gonna kind of be thinking through things here together.
That's the vibe. I love a last minute vibe. I love the assignments due at midnight, so I'll start at 11:20.
Yes.
We're taking it back to college, man. We're talking college teams. We're taking it back to the college vibe. I like it. Restoring the feeling.
Restoring the feeling across the board. Katie, just in general, from my bracket building perspective, how would you describe your vibe? When, obviously you said this last minute, but like, are you the type that's really like, okay, I'm thinking with my head, I'm thinking with my heart? Are you thinking of mascots, jerseys? Like, there's so many different ways someone can build a bracket. What's kind of your go-to way normally?
Well, every year is a little different. I put a little different spin, a little spice on it, if you will. If we're going vibe, the vibe across the board is always chaotic. It's always me trying to. I'm like, this is the year I'm going to do it. What I'm doing this year is I'm going to create almost a meditative space for myself as I sit down with the bracket. I'm going to take a moment to cleanse and to say, you are the knower of all. You have all available information is accessible to you. You already know in your heart who's going to win. Listen, let's foster a silence so that we can really hear. And then I'm going to pick the wrong teams multiple times. And that's going to be it. And I'm going to have the thing ripped up by the end of the first round. So that's basically going to be my approach this year, I think. Just listening to my heart. Sometimes it's like I'm not realizing I'm listening to the jerseys. Sometimes it's a mascot. Sometimes it's a player. I mostly just voraciously consume the information and then sit and realize I retained about 3 pieces of it. And then that's when I listen to my heart.
That's fantastic.
I remember this from like a random... Holly Rose said something about it. I don't know.
Not Holly Rose.
No, that's how I'm doing the men's. If I do that, I have not watched a single minute of men's college, so it's like vibe out.
Whatever happens.
That is probably usually better than my women's bracket.
Yes, that is how you have a successful bracket. Every year we did a bracket challenge. My mom, the lady who doesn't even like basketball, was always the one who won. So it's like it doesn't really. Sometimes the knowledge and the information can get in the way of the success. So I think this is my strategy this year. I don't see it paying off, but it rarely ever does. We're sort of here for the journey,
That's exactly right.
I couldn't find a baby. I've been trying to find a baby because, in
which way?
I mean, some people use dogs, right? Like, which one is the dog going to put the ball in? And I just I want to crawl, small child.
Gotcha.
Lead me and guide me to the correct
So you were just out there looking for a baby
for
anybody's child.
Yeah. Well,
I mean,
you gotta have a baby with the right vibe.
Yeah, if they were related to me, that would be ideal. But if it was a baby that I was like, that kid, But I'm Russell Westbrook to this. The babies are not it right now. We're in a bad baby market.
Johnny's at the park just yelling at babies for not knowing ball.
Come on. Jeez!
These picks are trash.
What are you
doing? Who raised you?
I love that this is immediately. I'm glad we all have our strategies laid out then.
At least we all know what we're doing. At least we're all professionals.
Clearly, we all we're who people need to be listening to figure this out.
Yes, exactly.
But on a serious note, who is a team that's really caught your eye and you've kind of been following their journey throughout the season?
I'd love for it to be a deep pull. I'd love to hit you with a name that you're like, whoa, I didn't even know she knew about whoever.
Fairfield.
Yeah. Oh, she's into Fairfield. That's crazy. She must really know ball. But it's Notre Dame. I love a big three. I am a slut for a big three, and boy, do they have one. Now, here's the thing. I know they kind of aren't having a good time right now. I know things are a little tough But I think I have faith. I have faith in Sonia, Hannah, and Olivia, which is like a group of friends that it's like I recognize that. Those three names.
Who is a traveling sleeve?
Yeah, 3 girls who bullied me in middle school. But they're good. They can ball. They hit threes.
Like you gotta respect it, even though they're,
And truly, anyone who bullied me, I had respect for them. I just also hated them because they made my life difficult. But I was like, you gotta hand it to her. She really does make me scared to go to class. So this
sounds like Hannah Hidalgo on a basketball court. Yeah. Like I would respect Hannah Hidalgo with the way that she's able to talk shit, or like like just the energy that she brings. But like, goodness, I would be so mad seeing her across the way from me. So like I actually think that's a very like apt description. Like I can get behind that. And that's also like I feel like a trio of names that just really fit together. Like that's a trio.
Yes. Like I think legally every Sonia has to be friends with an Olivia. I believe that's in the law. That's yeah.
So I can pass if not. Get some petitions going.
So Katie, you were building your bracket again. We know it's not all the way finished.
Not even close. Let's be honest. It's not even close.
Okay. That's okay. We're here. How can we? Well, first off, is there any matchup that like you immediately like as you were beginning to fill it out that you were like, yeah, this is the one that like.
No.
That's okay. We're here to help you out. Okay,
no, because I'm in my info gathering phase. Yes. I'm in my looking through the teams. I haven't even looked at matchups. So you're going to have to show me a bracket.
Let's look.
We can chat matchups.
Let's look.
Look at this technology you guys have.
We're trying our best.
Excuse me. So, you pulled that right up.
We can look at Notre Dame. Let's first off, I think this is like the most fun part of the bracket. This is the Haley Van Lith part of the bracket, and like
let me explain what that is.
Yeah, Shawnee, please do.
So Haley Van Lith is a player that she won my heart. I saw a clip from her in high school of her playing one-on-one with this dude, and she's just like talking cash shit. She's getting cooked, but she's also cooking, and she's telling him about it, and then she ends up winning. And I was like, this kid is going places. Yeah. So then fast forward, she's at Louisville. She's still doing it. And it's like, it doesn't matter if she wins or if she loses. She's going to keep talking. Like, she plays South Carolina, and what was that, the Final Four or the Elite Eight? Elite Eight. They're down. She hits a huge basket to cut it to 20, and she starts talking cash. And then Brie Beal is just like, what are you doing? And so we get that iconic moment. But, like, Haley's like, I'm going to keep talking. It does not matter. She has the iconic moment where she's like, we don't lose on senior night. They lose on senior night. She's like...
Oh, I'm
she
obsessed.
Trolled Skylar Diggins-Smith, and I was so mad at admin for deleting that because it was an iconic picture, and they got rid of it. But they won. They beat Notre Dame, and she was like trolling their biggest star. She's a menace. So it's like a lot of people were introduced to her by the Caitlin Clark, what do you want me to do meme? But it's like
shrug,
she can create drama. She creates drama from scratch. And I've always appreciated.
You need that. You need a pot stirring, the person who brings the pot and starts the stir. Yes.
Yes, and the fire and the spoon. So it's like, okay, so here she's with TCU this year, right?
Yeah.
So they play Fairleigh Dickinson. They could lose to that. And I don't think they will, but like, if they make it and then Louisville holds up their
end she plays her former team.
Which we were supposed to get last year, but Louisville when she was at LSU, but Louisville got upset in the first round. So the script writer said, copy paste, like control.
Yeah, try again.
Control V. Like we are getting this rematch because it just like I don't think there's ever anything publicly. Didn't seem like the best breakup. So like
no, well she said they were gonna lose last year.
Yeah, last year she called her former Louisville team getting upset, which was incredible, and then it happened. And so we're really eyeing that. And then TCU beat Notre Dame earlier in the year if they match up. So, like, you have the fire from Hannah versus the fire from Haley in what is yet another revenge game. So, like, the Haley Van Lith part of the bracket has the chance to be, like, some of the best cinema that we get in these early rounds. So, like, that's immediate mess that we can alert you to. And you could do with that information what you will.
I mean, I'm already like, I'm more fired up about this bracket than I've ever been. That's this little corner is really, if they all are bringing something like this to the table.
Yes.
What hell? I finally actually almost agree with the committee the
For
way
the
that
first
they set
time.
this, right? Like normally, I'm like,
this
why
never
are we
happens.
letting a group of people who famously can never work together on anything without getting corrupt? Why would we let a group of people decide and it's because of this. It's because we need this.
Yes.
We need this rematch drama corner.
Yeah.
How can we make everybody unhappy? And if that's
mhm.
really what we're doing, then we've succeeded. So knowing
Talk
what
to me
you
about
know.
what's this ISU Prin? Is that a play-in?
Yes. That's
Okay.
Iowa State versus Princeton. So like
Okay.
that'll be there's that one, and then where's the other one at? Up here, Columbia and Washington. So the Ivy. So the nerds are hooping this year.
Yeah. Okay.
We got 3 Ivy teams.
Okay.
So you get 2 in the play-in, and then we got one over here. Harvard has one of the best players in one of the most underrated best players in the nation, Harmony Turner. Like 40 balls on 40 balls. We had her on the show earlier this year. An absolute bucket. And so the nerds are out here in the NCAA tournament this year.
Which is almost rude if you think about it. It's like, don't you have enough?
So we're anti-nerds.
You know what?
Oh, I like that.
As soon as you said it that way, I was like, I think we are a little bit too anti-intellectualist right now.
This is true.
In terms of the public. But in this, it's like this is for the people who aren't here to play school. Like we're supposed to be here to play ball.
Yeah, no, I mean I can kind of.
But I'm happy for them. I love a smart. That's smart.
You said you shouldn't be here, but happy for you. You know?
Go to class.
Right.
So yeah, like the nerds are on the watch here, and I think ultimately when you're looking at some of the top teams, as we're kind of just going region by region here, I think the big in the region before we get to the Final Four matchup that everyone's talking about is the possibility of Juju Watkins versus Paige Beckers, which was the rematch from last year, and this has been a lot of talk here because there's been a lot of coaches that aren't happy. Even with the number 1 seed, USC's head coach thought that they were the 4th number 1, and they thought that Texas didn't deserve to be number 1 because Texas
allegedly
had their little moments.
She never said
this is true. Yes, you made this point.
And I need that
this is very clear. She never said Texas, but everyone was like, she's talking about Texas, but for all we know, she's talking about UCLA or something. So this has been the big thing is that Yukon and USC, who again played last year in the Elite Eight in Juju's freshman year, are now on the same region again, and USC is not very happy about the fact that they have to play Yukon again, which is some interesting dialogue kind of going into it because I mean obviously everyone wants to see star players like Juju and Paige match up, but USC did not want to see it this early in the bracket, so that's also going to be very fun in this. I'm interested as you're looking at this bracket. Is there any maybe one of these lower seeds? Let's
go back to the Haley Van Lith corner.
Is there
see how you feel?
Yeah,
you feel good about Notre Dame getting out of the Haley Van Lith corner.
Yes. Wait.
Woo!
I mean, obviously against SF Austin.
Yeah, so right? we'll put them in there.
Move them forward. I'm confident in that.
Yep.
And then I think between whoever wins the play-in game or Michigan, no matter what, I think Notre Dame could beat them.
Okay, they're at home. This is all home games here as well for Notre Dame, which is important. So, and I feel like the power of Haley Van Lith's hate is gonna at least get her past Louisville. I feel.
Has to be.
There's so much going on, and then we get to here, which was a Thanksgiving week, one of those really random tournaments that you can't find anywhere because it's on a random broadcast site in the middle of the Bahamas.
We will not say on air.
We
free the games.
And Notre Dame lost in this, so it's a revenge game. But Haley Van Lith was in the ACC and had enemies all over the ACC. So somehow in every game, Haley Van Lith has some type of revenge. And if there's not one, she'll make one. That's and that's what we love about Haley Van Lith. And so this is where it could get.
Well, yeah, because wasn't TCU last year? Weren't they all injured? Weren't they
banged
up?
Yes, they had open tryouts last year because of how bad it was. And then, so you bring in they brought in a bunch of transfers and just completely reloaded through the portal, including Haley Van Lith. And so it's been a complete turnaround from a newer coach. Is this his second year? Mark Campbell's second year there. It's last year was his first year. You have all of that go down, and then year 2. You're a number 2 seed in the tournament, so obviously you're doing something right. So it's interesting.
Does Notre Dame make it out of this matchup? I don't know. I don't know.
What your gut saying?
Talk to me about Notre Dame's pace, because I know TCU plays slow, right? So I feel like
here's the thing. This is also kind of part of it with Notre Dame. Was like, what version of Notre Dame are we getting? Because sometimes they're going too fast and then it gets wicked, and because sometimes the play the play making from the star guards, it gets a little shaky, and that's where it's like, if TCU's playing slow, they might not put up a crazy amount of points like to the way that Notre Dame can at their best, but it might be a more stable scoring production than what we've seen from Notre Dame recently. But Notre Dame at their best, it's defense and the offense. They're just making your life hell, and then it gets very easy, and they can run away from you. And so, like, that's kind of more where the pace comes from, is like the defense into offense, as opposed to like Notre Dame, like in the half court, like really like getting the shots up quickly. It's more the defense into offense where you find the pace at for them.
Well, then my second question is, would a drunk Irishman beat a horned frog in a fight?
I
have beef with
poisonous.
What'd you say?
Are they? Let's see.
Are horned frogs poisonous?
I would guess.
Frogs
again,
poisonous.
It would be a guess, but I would.
No, horned frogs, also known as Pac-Man frogs, are not poisonous to humans or small animals, but their skin secretions can be irritating.
Okay, that's skin secretions is a wild thing to say.
Look, it's
Tyler. This is a
okay. So
family program.
They stay wet and irritating. Interesting. Same. Mostly.
A drunk Irishman take on a wet, irritating frog.
Yeah, I feel like also drunk Irishmen wet and irritating mostly. So I feel like this might just be an annoying matchup. I guess it depends on how drunk the Irishman is.
This could get messy.
I feel like he could stomp on a frog.
Yeah,
I don't want to make this. I don't even want to make this call. Like, I don't want anyone to have heard me make a decision in this publicly, so they can go, "You stupid idiot."
Oh no, that's what March is, because they're gonna get something else wrong. So I mean, you've already like committed to the stumping of the frog. So can we just go all the way?
Yeah. Just put Notre Dame through.
Okay,
if the frog is dead, we have to now say,
yeah.
It's okay. No, this is March. This is the pressure. Forget the athletes. We are the ones really like stressed out about this.
I know.
Like this is way harder for us.
Yeah. We should really think about us. It's kind of rude.
Yeah, honestly.
They do this to us. Talk to me about Murray State. I love a Murray.
I don't have a ton of information for you on Murray State. Like that, that was. There was a lot of schools on here I could have probably gave you like a lot about.
No, and I picked the one, and that actually makes me really happy that it's the one you don't have.
This is like where Andrew, our mid-major, like connoisseur, would like have come in and be like, well, their pace. And, like,
did you know they're the nation's highest scoring team?
Oh, is that right? They can't see, Katie. You know more about it.
But can it play defense? Is what this article says, which is definitely not something you want them. That's not like a complex question. That's just like the other side of the ball.
Yeah, that is literally 50% of the game that they're just like
Iowa, right? Last year, their best defense was more offense. Sometimes I'm going to defend you by scoring more points. That's true.
That is
so.
True.
If Murray State can play defense by scoring more points.
Who's to say that's the wrong way to do it?
Upset.
Yeah.
So
it's not bad to pick the highest scoring team and an 11-6 matchup. That's upset.
Yeah.
Upsettable.
Do it.
So I think Murray State's going to be my upset.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, that's a good upset, I think.
I love that upset. Like this is, again, we don't need the full bracket. Like these.
Oh wait, over Iowa? Is that insane? Is that an absolutely insane?
So. No, not they're not the buzzsaw like that they were last year. Like with obviously having Caitlin Clark helps. But like they're just a very different team. They're a very solid team. They had a bad stretch at the beginning of conference play where they lose 5 games in a row, but that was like not them. Like it was like silly losses, like close losses where you miss like 20 free throws or like just really random stuff. But then they go and beat USC and they go and really play it close with UCLA. Like they're a very defensive team now, as their foundation, as opposed to years past, to Shawnee's point, where their best defense was scoring more than you. So
and then just like historically, Iowa's like Caitlin's freshman year, they beat a really good Kentucky team. Caitlin's sophomore year, they lose to Creighton. And what was it? The second round. So it's like,
so they might be due for after 2 back-to-back Final Fours. They
might be due for an upset.
Might be due for
Maybe
an
it's
upset.
time to get out of here. You know what I'm saying? Maybe it's time to.
Sorry.
As
Murray
an Oklahoma
State,
fan, I would take that. That would be great.
Yeah. That would be great for your agenda. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I love Big J in Iowa, but that would definitely make my life easier. Let's look. I mean, so from a Final Four perspective, I know like that's very deep into this. Like, are you like these top teams?
Better.
Like, are you feeling like you have like the South Carolinas, the UCLA's, like the teams that have been like very dominant that kind of feel like they're going to pretty much be in just about everyone's Final Four. You feel like, especially South Carolina. Like South Carolina's not happy about being not being the number 1 overall seed, but
that's silly because they have a cakewalk. I feel like.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So like
we're trying to stay focused on.
Do you think they're just like pretending to be upset?
I think it's a bit of like agendaing for like the future. Like, you know, like that's like Shawnee was talking about that one of our other bracket breakdowns where it's like they've been screwed in the past with stuff, but like this year was like they're honestly like in a really good spot. And so like it's
but
the
don't get comfortable, committee, because we will come after you.
I think that's what this is like nobody, like you can't let them feel safe.
Right.
You know,
of course.
And so like I feel like that's what it is. But yes, I would say that generally speaking, South Carolina has pretty much a cakewalk. So like we want to put them in the Final Four here.
Yes.
Let's do that.
Boom.
Like
boom.
And then
keep clicking. It's okay.
Let's click away. Who's this even for? You know, it's nothing set in stone. Just click.
So, I mean, is there any team up top where we could put Notre Dame straight into the Final Four if you're rolling with the drunk Irish?
I shouldn't, but you can't just go chalk. Like you can't just. I feel like.
Well, no, you went Murray State, so Murray State Final Four.
Murray State Final Four on?
Let's chalk it up and then Murray State
over Yukon. Like
let's
stranger things have happened. It's a wild year.
It is.
No, it's not that wild. I don't think that's probably going to happen. Who would Notre Dame run into first?
So that would
be
Like
Texas.
it would be so Texas is the number 1 seed, but Notre Dame beat Texas earlier in the season in overtime at home. Texas is like one of the best defensive teams in the nation, but they don't shoot any threes. Like, and I'm not exaggerating. It's 0 threes, and
that's
like
crazy.
Like
crazy.
They're gonna bring 42 points to every matchup and see like if that's enough.
Yeah, and like their defense is good enough a lot of times for that to be enough. But but that low scoring and like the possibility of like crazy lulls like for like 5 minutes with no buckets are a very real possibility. So like out of the 1 seeds, like USC and Yukon, like that's a tough matchup for USC. But like when it comes to the confidence level of the 1 seeds, everyone has kind of just thrown Texas out, honestly. Like even though their resume
they just
is
don't score enough.
They just they're very reliant on Madison Booker, who is a bucket, but
great.
like that's it.
Yeah,
like there's literally it's like Madison Booker's a bucket, and then they're gonna try and outsize you. But then you got teams here like Tennessee and Ohio State who both like full court press, and Tennessee takes a whole bunch of threes. And like if one of these teams make it through and face Texas, like I feel like that's where a lot of people are gonna be picking Texas to get knocked out of. If I was to guess, like from the general vibes of social media and whatnot, that would be my guess of where people are going to be having Texas out at.
Okay, so Tyler is technically a baby. We're gonna he's crawled towards like some matchups for you.
Yep, I see that. Yes, thank you. Thank you, baby.
Yeah, you're so welcome.
Thank you, baby.
So,
are we trustworthy, baby? I'm gonna give you that.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Baby genius, even.
Look, man, I'm glad to be the trustworthy baby here. You know, I'll wear that. I'll put that on the resume. Actually,
great. Thank you.
Are we rolling with the drunk Irish? Is that
why not? I mean, honestly, why not?
And again, it can all. You got time for your last minute brackets, but just from the initial vibes, we're just taking like initial temperature checks here. You know, that's all we're at. Like, okay, we have Murray State.
My gals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're not thinking Murray State. for a Final Four run?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, so unfortunate.
Who is so this is the Yukon
This is Yukon USC.
USC.
Yes, so like the very heavily expected matchup is that we get Yukon USC here in the
which I think we can click that through if that's something you feel like doing for me, because
I would be happy to.
That's likely where I'm gonna go.
Yeah. With it. So here we are. We get Paige versus Juju again. The rematch from last year. Yukon knocks USC out last year in the Elite Eight. You get the revenge game. USC beat Yukon earlier in the year as well. So they're 1-1 right now. This is kind of the potential rubber match between these two over the course of Juju Watkins' career so far at USC.
But Paige, this is her last year. She's 31. She's been doing this for a minute.
She's not 31.
I felt better for a second when you said that. I was like, oh, I'm not old then. She's right there with me.
Okay, Pierce. But no, this is the last season. I think it might be AZ's season. I haven't checked the update, but Gino's been pressing for her to make a decision and say are you going pro or not? So she could. This could be the last run. This will definitely be the last run of this ideation of Yukon. Mm-hmm. So you got the Jujinda, as we've been calling it, the Legend of Juju. Mm-hmm. And then you have Paige on the way out. So
I would
Clash of the Legends.
My heart wants it for Paige. But I don't know.
Okay. No, that's fine. No.
Shawnee said, keep going.
I want that.
It's your bracket.
So good. I know. Stop saying that. I hate this.
This is great. Let's get people with anxiety and put them on the spot.
We melted her down on a live stream.
BetterHelp, come talk to us.
Here's my thing is whenever I get this far in the actual making of my bracket, I always, for some reason, discount the 1 seed. I always am because I don't want to be the lady who picks just one seed.
Ones, I
hate the way that looks. But then when I'm watching the tournament and we get this far, I go, look at that. It's all 1 seeds. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, why did I set myself back like that?
Okay, so Yukon's a 2 seed.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm looking
at. So
I
feel and it's a good 2 seed to go with.
Yeah, we're going Yukon. This isn't a good idea, and please don't come for me. I'm as upset with me as you are at all times, okay? So the way somebody may be feeling about me right now, I feel like that about me all day. So I don't want to hear it. Get in line. Get in line behind me, okay?
All right, we're going to make this one easy for you. Just UCLA through.
It could be UCLA, unless there's someone that's really speaking to you. LSU's here with Flauge, but they've had some.
Was she okay? Wasn't she in a boot?
Yes. So her and Anissa Morrow are both in boot. Has been we don't know they're going to be active. They are playing that. That's already known. That's so they're. But we don't know what percentage of those players that we are getting, and they don't have a ton of depth behind them. So they are very star heavy, and those stars are great when they're at 100%, but we just don't know until we know what percentage that they are going to be at. So that's the worry with LSU right now.
And also what's Kim Mulkey gonna wear? Exactly. That's also, it can really dictate how that goes.
She might wear a boot. Who knows? It might be bedazzled.
That would be honestly
a bedazzled boot.
That'd be fantastic solidarity.
Kind of sick.
Yeah. So, but UCLA,
I think this is a UCLA. Probably gets
that's fair.
Yeah.
This is actually the same Final Four that we've gotten to several times now.
Really?
Yes. This is my Final Four I have currently.
Shut up.
Yes. So this is
me and the baby.
I don't know if I don't know if I'm accidentally leading people to my Final Four. Make my pick.
But no, I came in here talking about Notre Dame, so this is this is on me.
This is true. So here we are. We'll start with the left side here with UCLA and UConn. I mean, the kind of tail of the tape here is UCLA is South Carolina last year when it comes to the way that their team is built. They have the depth. They have a fantastic big down low 6'7" Lauren Betts, who's been one of the best players in the entire country. But the main difference from South Carolina to UCLA is that they haven't been here before. Like their coach hasn't been here. Like this would all be brand new. Whereas UConn, I mean, that's UConn. So even though they like you might not have as much depth and maybe as much things, you could argue you have maybe at the top you have more top talent than UCLA, even if you don't have the depth, and you've been here before. You know, you have Gino Auriemma, which certainly helps. So it's kind of the the overall depth versus maybe the trust in your top couple players and the ability to have already experienced a Final Four before is kind of the tail of the tape here for this left side matchup.
Also, and for those at home that don't know, a Bruin is a bear. So could a bear beat a dog?
I'm a Boston Bruins fan.
Oh yeah. No. Yeah, I was saying, just for the audience that's totally. Like on this high pressure hit.
Bear
get your wheels turned. Yeah. Could a bear beat a dog?
Yeah. And like a cute dog, but a dog, like a substantial dog. A husky is a dog.
They deliver medicine. Like, I don't know. Can a medicine dog beat a bear?
They can handle the cold weather. We're in Tampa, so it's not really going to be relevant. But
what is a bear in Tampa?
Truly, actually, I feel like a husky in Tampa is at a disadvantage because of the heat. They get hot.
No, he lived in Tallahassee. One of my friends, he had a husky in Tallahassee, and the dog was
was the dog fine or like
it was okay. He was okay. I was just like, but why?
Yeah, it's like, why are you doing this?
Yeah,
why are you doing this to him?
I should call some people, but
PETA.
Yeah, exactly.
You guys, we got a situation unfolding down here in Tallahassee.
Yeah.
We got a cold weather dog
in Florida, North Florida. Okay.
I think a bear would maul a dog. I
think that's fair to say.
I think it would be hard to watch.
UCLA is going to stomp UConn. That's what you're saying. That's headline. That's what we're going on YouTube.
I know, this is why sports media sucks, as you say. Katie, Nolan.
You thought this was a safe space, Katie? Absolutely not.
I love it. Get it how you can.
Oh yeah, no.
Get the views however you need to. I'm here, which means I volunteer to be used. It's the making of the sausage that off-puts. I think I'm going to, on the other side, take South Carolina.
Okay.
So I think on this side, I'm going to take UConn.
Ooh, that's great. Because that's a matchup.
South Carolina.
UConn beat the piss out of us at home.
Yes.
NCAA, it was very dang. Wasn't expecting that. Okay. So now it's going to be like revenge game. However, 2022 in Minnesota. I was there, watched it. We beat UConn for a championship. So it's like the last time Paige made it to a championship game, she lost to South Carolina. The last time Paige played South Carolina, she beat them. So it's like you got some people that are angry about some things, and it's like whole household mad. Who you picking?
Well. Well. And that's the sound of my heart you can hear beating through my chest.
Yeah.
Would you like to phone a friend? Would you like to
ask the audience?
Yeah, get the clickers out.
Listen, South Carolina, every game in the SEC tournament they won by a lot. Right?
It was pretty smooth.
Over 18 points or something like that.
It was pretty smooth for the majority of the tournament, yeah.
So, and I don't feel, they always say, maybe this is supposed to only be in football, but they say it's not easy to beat the same team twice.
That's true.
I think, oh God, I can take as much time as I want to think about this. I'm not going to get to the right answer.
What's your gut saying right in this moment?
Dawn Staley.
Cock's always up. Cock's always up. Cock's always up. Let's go.
And that's fair.
You can, and you sleep on it, and when you actually feel and hit submit, you do. You got till Friday, but for now, Cock's always up.
Cocks are up.
I hate picking the Cocks in a women's tournament. I truly do. I think there's no place for Cocks in this bracket. I want them out. But
But alas,
it does appear that that's what I've done. I blacked out for the last hour, so I don't know what you guys are talking about, and I can't be held responsible for any of
it.
So you're the drunk Irish.
This is what it's become.
It was my holiday yesterday, and I'm still hungover.
Just still feeling it. Like
plot twist.
Oh,
well, look, you made it. You made it. We have your Final Four.
I mean, we have 4 teams that we're claiming are mine.
And Murray State.
We did it. You know what? That will be the biggest win for me.
Yes.
If Bill Murray State can get out of that first round, then I will wear that. I won't shut up about that. I'll be like, Murray State.
Look.
No, you're coming back on and you take your victory lap and then you go about your business.
for
that game in person. So there will be boots on the ground.
Oh hell yeah! The baby's gonna be on the scene.
I will be on the scene.
Yeah,
and making sure if Bill Murray State gets it done, it'll be documented.
Sick. Oh, I'm excited. Then we'll have to get merch. It's gonna be a whole thing, but I'll figure it out. The Murray State what's? Do we know?
There aren't there
let's see if home because speaking of merch. Just real quick, there's going to be a description below for you guys to get 15% off from Home Field. Let's see if Home Field's got some Murray State. We'll talk. Home Field, we will talk. We need some Murray State merch.
Look. Obviously, toot sweet if we could.
Yeah.
Look at that. Yeah. Like that's a champion right there.
Is that a Mustang?
Yes, I think so. Oh, that is not.
His name is Dunker. Okay.
Yeah. Like this is
okay.
This is what we're the Murray State Racers.
Oh, now it's dark. Now that's horse racing, which means
this took a turn.
Yeah, that's less. We shouldn't maybe be celebrating, but that's okay. Yeah. The Murray State Racers is tough. It's just a tough name.
You picked a champ, Katie.
I sure did.
You picked the champ. Katie.
Wait, no, didn't John Morant go to Murray State?
Yes, that's where John.
So I mean, you're good.
You know, they play sports famously and have for many years. It's a story. It's a historic program,
and it's certainly not the most problematic name across college sports.
No, not the most. No,
so
not the most.
So honestly, you're in the clear. I feel like.
Okay, all right. I feel as good as one can about what just happened.
There you go. That's
all we ask.
That's all we ask. You know, I'm glad that you can feel as great as you can. Katie, thank you so much for joining us here.
Thank you for having me. This was an honor. You guys you talk about this in a way that's much more interesting than most. So I don't want to ruffle any feathers. But I'm happy to be here. An honor to be here.
Thank you.
To embarrass myself.
That'll be our new Twitter bio. Is that Katie Nolan? We talk about this better than most. That will be
my humble opinion.
That's our new Twitter bio. Katie, let us know where can we find you? We'll have all the links in the description below, but put us on.
You can find me on Instagram. It's at Nady Colon. Katie Nolan was taken. You can find me on, I'm barely on it anymore, but on that other one, it was at Katie Nolan. Mm-hmm. I host Casuals. It's twice a week, Tuesdays and Thursdays, audio only, but with clips for discoverability. You can follow those. They have an Instagram. I think it's Casuals the podcast. I don't know. It's just follow all that. It's for people that like sports but maybe don't need to get down into the nitty-gritty of all of it all the time. It's mostly the fun, funny stuff. So that's twice a week, Tuesdays, Thursdays. You can find me there.
There we go, okay, Katie.
And just like drop some insider information. Are we ever going to get Joes versus Pros back?
No, probably not. And isn't that stupid? Shouldn't it be the only thing we still have? Like why can't we have
nothing else? We need.
What if I just
we have this?
Okay, now that my phone is free up, I can use my laptop for recording, but I can use my phone and just follow you around. We can go to random playgrounds, just grab some Joes. I'm sure you know some pros.
I'm the pro. I was gonna say I'm the pro in this situation. Bring a pro up against the Joes and just film it. Look, somebody should be doing this with all the internet content we have nowadays. How is this?
You have an Instagram. I have a phone. Nothing. Like we can make it happen.
We can make something.
We're gonna go live. That's the rumor. Nasty rumor
live
time.
Pros and Joes.
Katie Nolan said Joes and Pros is coming back. Follow her on Instagram.
Well, in the meantime, before that comes back, you guys can stay tapped in here with us at No Cap Space. That's the pivot into the outro.
The actual thing we need you to come in and interact with, the actual content.
we're on the road to 3K subs here on YouTube. We're gonna be live every single night across the NCAA tournament. So as these games wrap up, as big upsets happen, we will be here having you cover the entire way. NoCapSpaceWB.com as well. There's a big feature dropping this week from our boy Andrew. He's been on it with one of the best players on the best teams in the entire nation. So be on the lookout for that this week. And Katie, thank you again.
Thank you guys again. This was so much fun.
All right. We'll see y'all next time.